having kids is when it really sinks in. And now all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, this dad thing is hard.
Yes.
Oh, my dad was a dad and I wasn't even his. Like there was no biological connection. I feel the biological connection with my kids.
Yes.
I don't even know like how much harder it was for my dad just having a stepchild, not even being a Vietnam vet, not even working for 35 years for the same company with like 3 promotions in his entire life. Like the dude did not live an easy life. It's hard. It's hard to keep holding a grudge on a guy like that. It's easy to start pitying him after a certain age.
I see that you call him dad.
Yeah, I've always called him dad. I've never had another dad. My mom has been married 4 times. She's been widowed twice. So I've had ample opportunities, I guess, to meet other dads.
Yes.
But no, my dad raised me, right? Like he dedicated 13 years of his life to raising me. I didn't like the way he raised me. He probably didn't like the way he raised me.
Yeah.
But that means every year that he was raising me, he was holding himself responsible for what he didn't do right the previous year or the previous decade or the previous, 15 years. And that's heavy too, dude. Like at some point the guy woke up and he was like, oh, you know what? I have this 15-year-old and I really fucked up when he was like 5, right? I didn't appreciate enough the 7-year-old years and now he's 18. He had to have those thoughts.
Of course.
Right? That can't be easy. It can't be easy to wake up day after day and see the son that's not talking to you and think to yourself, I did that, right? That's hard. Man.
Yeah. And for him to continue to do it though, like you said, not being your biological kid, right? That has its own challenges. Mm-hmm. I would not doubt it. But even everything that you've gone through and, it seems like you turned out all right, my friend.
Yeah, so, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. You know what? I'm sure my dad is doing whatever he's doing and, he's either willfully and gloriously ignorant of what I'm working on, or maybe he's somehow got an ear on it. I don't know. But the point is, he's healing and he's living a life.
Yes.
That's really the best anybody can ask for.
Yeah. I think a lot of times, when people grow up and they have these experiences, especially like if you have parents that put you through shit and negative experiences, when you have kids, I see this a lot, is like they repeat the same actions that their parents did. But sometimes the kids will learn, then they become the adult. And when they have kids, they go, well, maybe I should do things differently. Right. And, for me, I know for a fact that when my wife and I do have kids, as much as I know everything that my mom has done and everything that my dad, like, I'm going to do things differently. Right. But I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for those experiences.
Yeah. What's really fucked up is one of the things that we learned in our first few weeks at CIA is, CIA spends a lot of time telling you why they recruited you, which is a brilliant move on their part, right? Because you wonder, why am I here? Yeah. What about me has me here? And it's in CIA's best interest to make sure that they boost your ego, keep you confident, answer those questions so that when they ask you to do the shit that they're going to ask you to do, you can go out there and execute. So they spend quite a bit of time telling us why did we choose you? And one of the things that they taught us is that there's a very strong correlation between childhood trauma and high performance. Everybody listening right now who is a high performer, and I don't mean like, whether you have ambition and you just choose to be a lazy asshole. You're still a high performer. You're just choosing to be a lazy asshole. You know that you have the drive inside you and you're just sitting on your thumbs playing video games. So I count them in the same group here, right?
Yeah.
But your high achievers, they're driven to achieve because they had some kind of childhood trauma that taught them that external achievement is how you win love. So then they've been chasing external achievement ever since to try to win love. Win love from mom and dad, win love from a spouse, win love from a boss, win love from wherever. And some people get so pissed off that they're chasing and succeeding and not winning any attention that then they just say, fuck off, and I'm going to resist my desire to be ambitious, and that's how I'm going to snub you in the face. But it's a very clear correlation, scientifically proven with decades of research. So CIA makes it very clear, like, hey, all of you sitting here right now, you're all fucked up. All of you chase love. All of you were rejected as children. All of you have mommy and daddy issues. You all have it, and that's what makes you great. So as you sit here and you're like, our parents made us. Absolutely, our parents make us. And I can't say anything bad about my parents because the decisions they made brought me here. Absolutely. And it wasn't a comfortable experience to get here, but this is all I've ever known. Yeah. And I can't really think of a scenario better than where I am right now that I would trade out, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's so crazy how, going through, the CIA and everything that you just shared, how they can break that down and really look at it from a scientific level, that these are why high achievers are the way that they are, right? And I actually never really thought about it that way, but it makes a lot of sense. And some of the people that I look up to most, their stories, especially when younger, they went through some shit, right? So it definitely makes a lot of sense.
It's powerful too when you start to think about all the people who have like blessed, easy lives.
Yeah.
Like you look at them and you're like, oh, you got an easy life. Oh, you had a good childhood. Oh, you had a good childhood. Like you don't have to impress anybody. You don't have to work hard for anybody. So now you're 25 or 35 and the only reason you would ever think to work hard is just to work hard. Nobody thinks that working hard is fun.
Yeah.
So that's how you end up having these cogs, these lifetime cogs, these people who work until they're 72 years old, 8 hours a day, and are completely content to do it because they've basically been in the hamster wheel since they were 5.